What is up, everybody? What is up? I am here with a very, very special guest, a friend of mine, somebody who has a great talent for podcasting. He runs his own stuff. I'll let him introduce his own content here in a second. But first, I want to say this stream is brought to you by Lego Heads Barber Saloon. That's Lego Head Barber Saloon, located in Berea, Ohio. Go there and give Marlon a ring, or you go online, get set up a schedule, haircut or beard trim, whatever it is that you desire, and let them know that, hey, Angel sent you. He said that you give good fades, you give good beard trims, whatever it is that you are into as far as your hair. He's also got beard products there. He's got merch. Good dude, great guy in the community. So please go hit him up. Shout out Marlon. So here's my guest, TP or Thorell. Those that are close to him know as TP. Let me give you a moment here to introduce yourself and let people know where they can find you, sir.
Hey, if y'all don't know who this is, it's your boy Thorough from the My Dogs podcast, where my opinions are always just my opinions. You can catch the My Dogs podcast every Wednesday at 8 p.m. and we have great content. I'm always drinking the Kool-Aid. I love my Browns. I am never going to say anything bad about the Browns, because I think we can beat everybody unless we talking about the quarterback or Kenny Pickett. But one thing that I like about one thing that I do like about being his first actual guest was the first time he ever appeared on anybody's podcast. It was the My Dogs podcast, and I am ecstatic to see that how you branched out and you're doing your own thing, and you've been killing it.
Yeah, I've been trying to. I'm under the Land Media Group, which Bearder Browns podcast started their own media group. And then I said, Mike, I'm just going to do my own things. I'm going to do it periodically. I can't commit once a week because I got a 9-month-old kid. Sometimes my wife is like hair stressed out. So I'm like, I got family first, then podcast, God, family second, then podcast third. But either way, I'm trying it, see how it works out. And I was like, I actually forgot about that. I was your first guest. I first appeared ever on anyone's podcast was yours under the Bearder Browns podcast, and I advocated for Kenny Pickett that day, and I was made fun of, and then still people make fun of me to this day. Nonetheless, sometimes when you're on a podcast, you say things and you make bold predictions. Sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong. And I guess we're going to kind of make some bold predictions today. We got a lot to talk about. AFC North is changing. Browns still in the quarter. I'm so used to saying quarterback because they're always looking for a quarterback. Browns are in the head coaching search. And we're going to find out what type of personality we would like as a head coach. And last but not least, we're going to ask the question, which TP brought up when he was talking to me, which is a very good question, which no one really is talking about, which is great to hear. If we lose Jim Schwartz, who do you want your DC to be? We're going to talk about that. It's going to be a great show. So tune in, comment below, whatever it is that you want to, what you feel you need to say. Let us know what coach you're hoping will, be on top at the end of the day. Nonetheless, let's get into it. The change in the AFC North. First, let's talk about John Harbaugh. He was let go, fired over the phone, which is very interesting to say the least. A lot of reports are saying that he was let go because Lamar was not happy because Todd Monken was his OC. Lamar, there's a lot of stuff brewing before the firing that Lamar was laxed. He was playing video games. He wasn't giving his 100% commitment to the team as far as practicing and watching tape. And Harbaugh was let go of that. He had a 13-11 post-game record, won Super Bowl, but couldn't figure out how to win the big one with Lamar. Signs a 5-year deal with the New York Giants. TP, what is your opinion on John and the whole ordeal in Baltimore? Were you surprised that he was let go? And do you think Giants are a good fit for
him? I'm not going to say I was surprised, but the way that the rumors allegedly how he was fired. Now I'll say, I don't know if you understood or heard the rumors of how he allegedly got fired, because the rumors is, first of all, follow, like, and share this pod and
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
keep doing what y'all doing so we can make this grow. But the rumors is that the owner told John Harbaugh that he was bringing him back. So John Harbaugh was excited, and he called Lamar Jackson. He called Lamar Jackson and told Lamar Jackson, "Hey, they bringing me back, but no, okay." Rewind it back. The owner said, "But if I bring you back, you got to let the offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator go." And he said, "Okay, I'm cool with that." So he went and told Lamar Jackson, "I'm coming back. I know you don't like Todd Monken and all this stuff, so we're going to get rid of him." And Lamar lied to him, said, "Nah, I ain't got no beef with him." He's like, "Come on now. I know you don't like him. Y'all haven't talked in 4 months. That's half the season. You haven't talked to your OC in 4 months. That is bananas." So then he got off the phone with him, and I think it was the next day or later on, and Lamar Jackson was like, "Yeah, I'm cool with it. I'm cool. Okay, all right, coach." Then the next day, he gets a phone call from the owner. "I'm sorry to inform you. We got to let you go." Like, what? That's the if I was John Harbaugh, I'd be pissed, and that's why John Harbaugh came out and made a statement saying that he felt that he was unappreciative at in Baltimore. So being shocked, no, because as same thing that Cleveland do, we did with ours. You're gonna pick the quarterback or you're gonna take the head coach. And most times you're you're gonna stick with the quarterback, and we're gonna see can we get in that head coach. So that's what Baltimore's owner did. He took his MVP, his Pro Bowl quarterback over the head coach and hoping that he can come out still with some success.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see who there's a couple of interviews. They interviewed Kevin, but he's going to sign with the Falcons. They interviewed, there's a lot of rumors that Kubiak from Kubiak from the Seahawks is rumored to go there, but I didn't see them interview him yet. But it'll be interesting to see who they pick there. And obviously, if you listen to the owner's press conference, he said Lamar is going to have a big say on who's the coach is there, which is going to be very interesting because obviously Lamar is the man in control now. It's not the GM. Do you think a team should operate that way where a team has one player has so much control and dictate who should coach him, where people should be at as far as the organization?
I mean, and us older folks, we would say these young cats is just spoiled this and all that stuff. And we love to say that, but in reality, it's sports. The superstar is going to always run the team. Look at Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is our era. Michael Jordan had his own locker room. Michael Jordan had a locker room right next to the locker room all by himself. Look at Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson in Seattle had his own office inside the building, office and staff. So you had to go set up appointments with his staff to talk to Russell Wilson. So when you want to keep a star, you got to keep a star happy. But I'm not a fan of it. I don't like it, but it is what it is. But the one thing about it that Michael Jordan was Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was a dog and this and that. The only thing I don't like about Lamar Jackson somewhat did the Iverson thing where he didn't want to practice, and they was talking about was it on Wednesdays? They had to change the practice. He's talking about I'm not getting up that early. No, that's not good leadership. That is not good leadership to me.
Yeah, I agree, and that's why for me it's like skeptical. Like you've seen the pattern in which you're now putting the power in this player. You've seen the pattern of behavior, and you're still going to say he's going to have some control here. Like so, if he comes in and he says, "I want this coach over Kubiak because Kubiak is going to be too hard on me," and he's going to know that, he's going to pick the guy that's going to be easier on him. So for me, it's like you want a coach that's going to, and as a Browns fan, we know because we don't ever see this. We want a coach that's going to push players, motivate players, and when you lose that, then you lose the culture, and now you have a player, and that now somebody's, let's say, Flowers, he's going to want say, right? So he's like, well, I'm his number one receiver. Why shouldn't I not have say in who said head coach is going to be? Because he's not going to be calling plays to me. He might be calling plays to somebody else. So to me, that's dangerous grounds there for the owner. But I'm glad that's right now that's their problem.
Their problem, yes.
we have, as Browns fans, we have problems every year on our organization. It's good to see a little dysfunction over there finally after 19 years.
Yes.
Do you think he's going to do well with the Giants? I mean, he has a good core, Dart, Scattaboo, and man, the receiver just skipped my mind. But he has good.
Neighbors.
He has a good, neighbors, yeah. And they're in the position that if they want, they can draft another receiver, Tate, Tyson, or they can go on the defensive side, get Downs. I mean, they're in a good position to increase their talent in their team. So I thought that was a good, for me personally, I thought that was a good pick for him.
And that's why I didn't want Kevin Stefanski to go there.
Because you don't want Kevin to look good?
Oh, no. Because everything, what people don't realize is when Houston wins, see, I'm the type of Browns fan that I try to get rid of all the narratives. Everything comes back to Cleveland. Now, if Houston wins, what they're going to bring up, the Deshaun Watson trade, we gave them this Super Bowl. We got him here. If Kevin Stefanski goes to the Giants, guess what? Cleveland, y'all did it again. Y'all let the head coach go because y'all thought he was sorry he did this. Shoot, even Joe Flacco and every time somebody goes somewhere and just win one game or just throw one touchdown, it all falls back on us.
Yeah. Yes. So, that's how Nick Chubb, because Nick Chubb had a good couple of games in Houston. Oh, he scored 2 touchdowns. You should have kept him. And then as it fades, right? Because he doesn't do well. Now you're hearing, well, I want Tennessee Texans to win because Nick Chubb's here. I want him to win Super Bowl. So now you're going to have, if they go to the Super Bowl and win it, see, you have to lead the Browns to win the Super Bowl. So it's going to be a constant. That's what I'm saying. And I'm with you on that. I hate that narrative. I hate the Browns don't know how to keep talent. When they go, they win. It's come on, man. Stop beating us up. We're a dead horse. You keep on beating a dead horse.
And that's what I told everybody, because Nick Chubb, at the beginning, he was doing a little bit of something, and some Browns fans, well, I told you we should have kept him. No. At the draft, when we got Sampson and Junkins, we were all happy. Yeah. We didn't know he was going to go through what he went through and all that stuff. So we were all happy. And I don't know about you, but that's how I felt about Deshaun Watson. Yes, it didn't go out the way that we wanted to, but were you happy when we signed Deshaun Watson and with his contract? Were you ecstatic, or were you happy to have him?
I personally was, yes. Yeah. I was, because I thought you're getting, and a lot of people are going to go I wasn't. You're lying.
Yeah,
because you're getting an upgrade. Baker was a subpar 500 quarterback here. He'd come off an injury. They weren't going to guarantee him a contract because he was coming off injury. And let's be honest, Watson in Houston was amazing. He was throwing 80-yard bombs to Will Fuller. He wasn't even, he was like a third string receiver at the time, throwing bombs out. And he was playing well. And the whole narrative was, well, Houston has a horrible line. We have a great line here in Cleveland. If we give him time, he's going to even be better with Nick Chubb and all this talent around him. He didn't even have a run game. So yeah, I was ecstatic. I wasn't a big Baker boy either. So for me, it was you're getting an upgrade at quarterback. Why not enjoy it? Now, outside of the off the field issues, it was a little concerning, but for me, they had to roll the dice. You're upgrading a position, the most important position in the NFL. So I didn't mind that at all.
And that's what I tell everybody. I mean, y'all was happy when we got here. Yes, it failed, but don't say, I know y'all like to get on my man Andrew Berry, or they some people think that Haslam made it, but I think the general manager gonna always make these decisions to me. But it was a good call. We all would have did it, and we all would have failed. So I'm not mad at that trade, because we all was happy when it came. So just because it didn't, he should be fired because it didn't go through. We all would have been fired then, because we all loved the trade and we thought we was getting something. So
yep. And then let's flip the script here. If he would have went to Atlanta, 90% of Browns fans would see, no one wants to come here. No one wants to play for Cleveland because we suck, blah, blah, blah. Now we have Baker. Baker suck. So you still would have had that crowd complaining the Browns can never get a big name free agent because he's going somewhere else because no one wants to be in Cleveland. So it's a lose-lose either way.
And I always tell people, he didn't want to come here. We had to overpay. He was going to Atlanta. He had to overpay. Then people don't remember about Clowney. Clowney had 2 interviews with us and he turned us down. Guess what? We had to overpay for somebody to come to Cleveland until we start winning and change our organization. We're going to have to overpay for everybody. So if you're a Cleveland Browns fan, just get used to it. We have to overpay. Nobody is saying, I want to come to Cleveland.
Yep. And that's why I thought the Browns were going to if they had an interview, I was watching because I was like, if they have an interview, Jimmy's going to go all in. He's going to be like, I'll give you full control. I'll give you half of the organization. I'll give you half of Berea. He's going to go all in, just offer crap to him because he wanted him to come here, which maybe it would have been a good deal. But either way, John Harbaugh signs a 5-year deal. He's in New York. He wanted some power. He ended up getting something because there was a little hesitation, him signing some verbiage. I think that's
Yeah.
overpower.
I
Far as structure.
I couldn't see him coming to Cleveland. I can't see any prominent head coach coming to Cleveland because going off of what Jimmy say, AB is running this. AB got all of Paul Padiscola, whatever his name is. People don't realize last year that he was still running the team. He was making all the decisions. And when they let him go, they gave all the power to AB. AB has, and that's why we got the draft that we got. That was AB's first time having full control, and you saw what type of draft he come out with. And are you going to bring somebody like Harbaugh in? Well, Harbaugh want the same thing that you want, and what Harbaugh got is what Kevin Stefanski had in Cleveland, which I hated. Harbaugh got the verbiage that's in his contract is the GM is not his boss. He reports to the owner, and I don't like that. I don't
like a guy that has full power like that because we did that with one guy, man, that guy from Seattle, Mike Holmgren, and that screwed us. Like he came in for 5 minutes. So according to like it's reputable because it's been written in books that he would come in for 5 minutes and leave and just like poop on the organization. So I'm with you on it. I wasn't keen on it. I heard that side of the argument with Andrew Berry and Paul DiBodesta. Like Paul DiBodesta may have been making the calls and maybe he stepped back this year and Berry had full control. And then it kind of changed my mind on that because I'm like, I've never heard that narrative before. And that could be true. So let me give Berry one more year this year to see what type of, now he's going all in on the offense. We'll talk about that in a little bit. He's already in his press conference. He's going all in. So we're going to see what type of draft he has this year. Because I think the years before that, the draft totally went against Kevin. And I know a lot of people don't want to hear that because Kevin is.
Yeah.
I mean, they drafted 90% of their men, the talent they brought in here was defense. And that's why Jim Schwartz is reaping the benefits right now. Not that he's not a good coach because he's a good coach, but he's got super talent over there compared to the offense. So we'll jump to Kevin. Kevin's offense wasn't good for 2 years. Good enough. Wasn't good enough at all. He was 31st this year, 32nd last year. Had 13 different quarterbacks, tons of injured players, 8 wins in 2 years. Not good enough, but good enough to sign a 5-year deal with the Atlanta Falcons, which is confusing to me because a lot of people say, well, Kevin's never going to get a job. And I'm like, I don't know, man. I feel like there's some people that see it from my perspective where he wasn't getting enough talent. He wasn't given a proper quarterback. He had 13, and people say, well, he had 13 quarterbacks. Well, only 2 of those were really good. The rest of them back up. Well, I like Jacoby. So maybe 3 or 4 of them were really good. And they see some potential in Kevin. They're going to sign him 5-year deal. I like the Atlanta area for him because I think him and Kirk Cousins can work well together. I don't know about Michael, if he's going to be a good quarterback yet. He's inconsistent, but he has more talent on offense right now than he's had in Cleveland. He's got BJ Robinson. He's got Kyle Pitts. He's got London. Those receivers and that offensive line, and he already has an offensive line that's built. And rumor is he's bringing Bill Callahan with him. Now, Browns fans love Bill Callahan. Bill Callahan could not fix Jed Wills. That's the only person he couldn't fix, right? We don't talk about that, but he's going to have Bill Callahan with him. And rumor is he's going to have his son, Bill Callahan's son, call plays. We'll see if that turns out. But do you think he's a good fit there?
First of all, his Bill Callahan's son calling plays. That's I don't see that. I don't see that because he didn't want to give up play calling here, so he's gonna always call the plays. So I'm calling
plays for 3 weeks though. He'll call plays 3 weeks and give it up. I'm done.
Yeah, but I mean, I was shocked. I was shocked that he went there because Penix, I ain't gonna say he's like Deshaun or he's like Shedeur, but I just don't see that's his style. I think his style, as we saw, what he wanted was Dylan Gabriel. His style was, but he didn't get along with him, was Baker. I don't think Michael Penix is his style. So he just went with the most talented. But if he's committed to Penix, then Penix might succeed. But in Cleveland, to me, he wasn't committed to the quarterbacks that he was given, and he wanted to say, forget you, I'm gonna do me and all that stuff. And that's why I don't like when the head coach boss is the owner and not the GM. Because when the GM is not your boss, guess what? I don't care what you say and what you tell me. You ain't my boss.
Yeah.
So, but if AB was his boss, he said, no, you're going to do this and you're going to do that, or you're going to be fired. And he would have listened. But he had a good accord with Haslam, and Haslam like, you ain't going nowhere. So they had to deal with it. But now about Atlanta, a lot of people said that of course, they kind of think that he was going there because of Kirk Cousins. Yeah. I don't know about him and his connection with Kirk Cousins, and that's the thing that always made me mad about Kevin. He's unpredictable. You don't know. And yes, he had Kirk Cousins in Minnesota. Guess else who he had in Minnesota? Case Keenum. Case Keenum took him to the playoffs, and Case Keenum came to Cleveland, and I ain't gonna lie, I was the happiest guy on earth because him and Case Keenum, they cooked in Minnesota. But guess what? Case Keenum got in the game, and Kevin wouldn't even let him throw the ball. So, I it's you like how y'all say, hey, he going there, he gonna hook back up with Kirk Cousins. I don't know what he's gonna do with Kirk Cousins if he there for Kirk Cousins, because Case Keenum did his thing in Minnesota, and he didn't even let him do nothing in Cleveland. So he's unpredictable.
Yeah, he is very unpredictable. It's weird. It's just a weird dynamic with him. Like, he comes in, wins 11 wins coach of the year, comes in and has him and Baker have a falling out, and then wins coach of the year again because he has 5 quarterbacks and they still make the playoffs. And then the next 2 years after that, offense is just gone. There's no offense. There's no sign of life. He had 2 different coordinators. His special team stinks. So there's a lot of arguments of why Kevin should have been let go, and I actually think it was Apple. They both wanted to be done with each other, so they both stepped in. Was all right. Peace out. We're gone. Yes. But Kevin moves on to Atlanta. That's their issue now. I know I've seen a lot of Atlanta fans worried, saying, "Oh no, this guy sucks." I hope he's in.
Deion Sanders made a comment.
What did he say?
Oh, he just said, "Oh Lord."
Oh, I think
so he's not happy.
The benefit of him going there is that that's a weak division. Like, you just have Tampa. The other 2 teams are still trying to figure it out. And Raheem Morris won the last 4 games with that talent roster. For some reason, something just didn't click with him, and maybe the quarterback, Michael Penix. Maybe I don't know. It's kind of like weird there, but they won the last 4 games and they still let Raheem Morris go. So I think there's an opportunity for him to, believe it or not, TP, look good there. And then people are going to say, especially if the coach here doesn't do well the first year, you should have kept Kevin. You're going to hear a lot of that.
I got one question for you, and I'm not a big Kevin Stefanski guy, but I don't know your thoughts on Kevin. But once again, as I always say on the My Dogs podcast, my opinions are always just my opinions, and I give credit to Kevin's two of Kevin's Coach of the Years to Andrew Berry. Andrew Berry brought and traded all those players in. We had, on paper, like always, we had the best team on paper. So you could have coached that team. And I tell everybody, they were like, oh, he got this most wins he only been here this long, and he got more wins than any other Browns coach in Browns history. Yeah, but I always say, name the last time the Cleveland Browns ever had that many stars on one team. When the last time we had a great team like that? Of course, you're supposed to have that record. But what did he do with it? Nothing. He didn't even got one playoff win. He did.
Yeah, because I went to who's the coach? I was going to say Tom Monken, but it wasn't him.
Yeah, I forgot his name.
Van Pelt. He went to Van Pelt
Yeah.
because he
Yep.
had COVID. He was in the basement.
Yep.
No, yeah, and the argument with Kevin is even when he was good, and I was a Kevin fan. I'm a Kevin fan. I loved Kevin. I think he should have got more talent in offense. Maybe would helped the last 2 years. But even at his peak, he topped out like 13th as far as a ranked offense. I mean, now you can sit there and say, well, if we had 13 top ranked offense now with that defense, we probably went into the playoffs and won a couple of games in the playoffs. That's a good argument. That's true. But the issue is the quarterback that you spend all that money on was your safety valve that you were going to be like, well, at least we have a quarterback that can keep us in games and throw us. And unfortunately, we played an old man and then 2 rookies this year. And then another thing is Kevin had, if you look at the percentage of offense, I talk about numbers all the time on my other podcasts. So I try not to do it here. All your rookies, I would say 50-60% of your offense was through rookies. You had Fannin, you had Junkins, you had Sampson, you had Bond. A lot of those plays, so especially the explosive plays, stemmed from rookies. So that's the argument where I'm sure they're in the meeting together, him and Haslam and Barry's like, look, this is what our offenses could look like if we have somebody could tap into their potential. I think they see the numbers in the past. When we had this talent, we topped off at 15, 13 top ranking offense. If you want to go toe for toe with these teams, you're going to need top 10, top 5 offense. And I see that.
I get your stats. I get your number. It's, to me, I just think that Kevin Stefanski, he probably is a good coach. And I'm going to say he's a good coach, but he's a hard-headed coach. And his philosophy is, I want to pass. We had Nicholas Chubb, and now we got Junkins. Run the ball. If everybody keeps saying we ain't got no wide receivers, but we got a running back. We always had a running back. Let's run the ball. But nah, Kevin gonna run it 6 times. Oh, we're gonna get shut down. And guess what? We're gonna quit running. We're gonna quit running. He doesn't adjust. And I always ask people from his rookie year to year 4 or 5, where did you see Kevin Stefanski progress in coaching? And nowhere to me. He's still doing the same dumb mistakes. He ain't grown. He ain't learned from mistakes. He's still cocky. His philosophy is to throw the ball 40 times. I don't care. If PJ Walker's out there, PJ Walker, I need you to throw 40 times. DTR, I need you to throw 40 times. No, you got to adjust to your team. And he doesn't adjust.
And I think that you're right. I think what ultimately hurt him was that, and if you listen to Andrew Berry's press conference, he specifically said, we're going to look for a guy with high EQ, high emotional EQ, intelligent EQ, and somebody who can adapt. And that's why when we talk about it here in a couple of minutes, like, you really have to look at these young OCs, because these young OCs are going to come in with adaptability. A lot of them already have credibility of like a pass game coordinator who adapts per game, and their offense is adjusting. Their offense is week by week based upon the weakness of the defense. And I think Kevin comes in with this 2 tight ends and a running back, and that's what we're going to run. And you're limited there. So teams can scheme you every week. Oh, he's just going to run these 2 tight ends. And we saw Shedeur struggle, right? Against Chicago, we saw Shedeur struggle. Why? Because the Chicago's defense realized they're just scheming Fannin. So let's double Fannin, and then nobody else is going to get open. And that's ultimately what hurt Kevin. So they're going to look for somebody who's smart enough to adapt and adjust in game. And Kevin sucked at that. 100%.
Or he should have just let his OC do what he's supposed to do. That's what he's there for. You the head coach, oversee everything and let what we paying these guys for their money for, let them do what they do. That's what Kyle Shanahan and all, man. Hey, you ain't a wizard at it. I know you did this in Minnesota, but yeah,
even with they gave the play call to Tommy Reese, you didn't see much there either, because I believe Kevin's handprints were on it. So I mean, he's sure Tommy Reese is calling the play, but what plays is he calling? Tommy's plays specifically, or is he calling Kevin's plays? So I mean, they'll never answer that, but nonetheless, another head coach gone in the AFC is Mike Tomlin. Now you have personal connection with Mike Tomlin because your wife is a Pittsburgh fan. By the way,
Don't bring that up. Don't let nobody know that site.
No, your socials is hilarious when you guys go head to head with each other. It's funny, but he packed his bags and left after the loss to the Houston Texans. Steelers became the first team in NFL history to lose consecutive playoff games, 5 of them by double digits. The last time they won a postseason game was January 15, 2017 against the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC divisional round. Tomlin decided to leave, not get fired. He decided to bounce. The reason why I saved this one for last is because you have a wife who's a Pittsburgh fan, and I think she's a Tomlin fan. I do believe, and you have that fan base divided. You have some that hate, that blame Tomlin, and some that say, "Hey, it's not Tomlin's fault." Where do you stand as a Browns fan? Like, not that you should care.
I mean, most people in the whole wide world, they love Mike Tomlin. Steelers fans, they're the only ones that divided. But if you ain't a Steelers fans, everybody love Mike T. And that's where to me, where fans and everybody pick and choose the battles, and to me, they go the wrong way. Mike Tomlin since Big Ben, that's 2016, Big Ben probably retired in 20 or something like that, probably COVID. And he never had a losing season. Since Big Ben retired, when the last time he had a quarterback? But guess what? He still kicked our butt and he still went 500. But in Cleveland, people want Andrew Berry gone because he didn't give Kevin Stefanski no players. But now in Pittsburgh, they want Mike Tomlin gone because he ain't won no playoffs, but they're not getting on the GM for not getting him a quarterback or no players. Come on, man. Gotta make it make sense.
Yeah, it's exactly what they did here. They invest in their defense and they just do enough on offense to win. The only thing is Tomlin is talented enough as a head coach to get enough juice out of that orange to make something out of it, right? And unlike Kevin, who just did not get any juice, if any. So that's what I'm with you. Like, for me, when the Pittsburgh fans like, get rid of Tomlin, he sucks, I'm thinking like, maybe to his fault, like he went above 500 every year and never put him in the position to get a quarterback. But that's not his job to get a quarterback. His job is to win games.
To coach them.
To coach them. And even won games with Kenny Pickett. He won games with Russell Wilson and friggin'
he went 4-0 with Justin Fields. So
Justin Fields, guys.
And
Justin
Fields. Did he ever throw a touchdown in them 4 games? Maybe 4 games, maybe through 1. So it's just, the things that he went through and still was winning is incredible.
Yeah, it's confusing to me whenever a Pittsburgh fan was complaining and excited for him to leave. I'm thinking like, y'all better hope that the Rooneys find the right guy, because they do have a history of finding the right guy. That's the organization that seems to always get it right. But you better hope, because if not, you're going to be begging for Tomlin to come back. And believe it or not, Tomlin's not going to want to come back, because he heard during games, fire Tomlin. Like as a man with pride, who's won every year that he's been in the league, he should have some type of pride about his job, because he's the best at it. That's offensive. Like, I'm sitting here winning these games with patchwork at quarterback. DK Metcalf is my only freaking receiver, and I'm doing what I can with the rest. And you guys want to fire me?
And DK can't run no routes. All he can do is the go ball. Besides that, what is DK? Then my thing is that's confusing. Okay, Pittsburgh Steelers fans, if y'all watching, and that y'all were the ones that were booing and cheering every time a bad play happened, y'all say, see, that's why you got to fire Mike Tomlin. Guess what? Mike Tomlin did not call not one play ever.
Smith.
Ever in Pittsburgh. So every time y'all saw a bad play and y'all yelled at Mike Tomlin, he didn't call that play. So now ask for y'all offensive coordinator to be gone, man. Put the blame where it want to be, where it should go. Because if y'all complain about play calling, put the blame, want to get the OC out of there. Don't get Mike Tomlin out of there, because he didn't call the play. Yeah. Man, y'all got to know football. Y'all got to be smart. Don't just look at the head coach and think that he's doing it. No, it ain't him.
Yeah, they want somebody to. I think Pittsburgh wanted change for change's sake, and I think that change can hurt them. Trust me, as Browns fans who change consistently every 2, 3, 4 years, it doesn't help. It doesn't help. And you guys had consistency and you won. You won over 500 every year. Sure, getting to the playoffs and losing in the first round sucks. I get it, but I would love that at least experience a playoff win after a
Mhm.
while.
They
Um,
they they spoiled. When you
yeah,
win
they're
so much,
spoiled.
you get spoiled.
Yeah, that's what happened with Baltimore too. So the
Yep.
AFC North is going to look totally different. So question I have for you is who looks more pretty? You got the Ravens, the Lamar's in control. You got the Steelers who need an offense now, not just quarterback, potentially because Aaron Rodgers may not come back. You need receivers. We just talked about they have no talent offense. You have Cincy who has an electric offense, but their defense just sucks. Which one of these teams in the AFC North is prettier to you?
Okay, well, I'm gonna say one more thing. My opinions are always my opinions. In the rumor on Mike Tomlin, last thing, why Mike Tomlin stepped down. I don't know if you know, but
I wanted to see if you knew that. I didn't want to say, but go ahead. I think I know
yeah,
where you're
oh
going.
yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. When I ain't Mike Tomlin is just a rumor, but I don't believe it. Every time somebody's quit, they want to do a smear campaign, but they're trying to say Mike Tomlin was having an affair and it's coming out. I think he got girl, she might be 2 months pregnant or something like that, and that's why he sat down. But I don't believe everything you hear.
And
And
the argument they're using is Tomlin said it was football, but Rooney said it's for family reasons. That's the
mhm.
true reasons. So these internet swoofs are connecting dots as to why Tomlin didn't get a press conference, a goodbye press conference, and why Rooney said family and he said is because of football.
Yeah, and remember, hey, I mean, if our Rooney when same thing with Deshaun Watson, everything was good, and then he wanted
Yeah.
to leave, and guess what? Things came out. Mike Tomlin, everything was good. Then you want to leave, somehow stuff just leaks out. But I ain't going there. But one quick question before we move on. I didn't like James Harrison. They former
Oh, I
linebacker.
did. I heard that.
You
Yeah.
saw that comment.
Yeah.
I don't agree with it, but you're real quick. Do you agree with James Harrison saying that Mike Tomlin is not a Hall of Fame coach
Oh,
because he didn't have no coaching tree?
no, no, I think that's no. I mean, you as a coach, you want a coaching tree, yes, but to sit there and say your Hall of Fame credentials should include your coaching tree is no. I don't think you should do that. No, I disagree with that
Thank
wholeheartedly.
you.
I mean, he has a winning percentage of like 600. I mean, and he's at a Super Bowl. So all those criterias and division champions and I mean the division championship. So I think obviously there's some they don't like each other. Harrison doesn't
Yeah,
like Tomlin.
or
And
some
Tomlin,
clickbait. I don't
yeah,
know what that came from.
yeah, he seemed to not like. I heard that, and it seemed to came from a place of hatred for some reason. And to sit and even Joe Hayden, who's I mean, he played with Pittsburgh and he's a Brown. He's like looking at him
Mhm.
confused, like, "Are you serious right now? Like this is
Yeah,
you're just trying to get us in the algorithm to get likes and views here." I mean, that's a crazy take. No, I agree. He's definitely a Hall of Famer. I think
yeah,
he's going to come back after 2 years and coach again, anyways. If he doesn't like TV enough, he might
yeah,
just yeah,
and I mean, if he go to TV, but I think he was at his daughter's volleyball or basketball, someone one of those games,
gymnastics.
and he's still under contract. So anybody that wants him have to trade for him.
Yeah, it's a lot of Browns fans like, "Get Tom." I'm like, the Browns are not gonna trade all they're just getting them back, man. They need offensive help. Like, they're gonna give him up to get Tomlin, who
But
I mean,
then there's another rumor out there that I mean, like if you're a Browns fan and you saying trade for Mike Tomlin, it's a rumor after Bill Cowher retired that it's in their contract or that they state, dude, we would never trade a head coach to Cleveland. And if you a head coach, you can go anywhere you want, but not to the Cleveland Browns. They hate us the same way we hate them. That's how them Roonies feel. That's the rumor. If you a head coach here, you can never ever go coach for the Cleveland Browns.
yeah, that would be weird to see anyways.
Yes.
So yeah, with the AFC North changing, Tomlin had 193 total wins. Harbaugh had 193 total wins. So a total of 386 total wins are gone from the division. So this division's up in the air. It's up.
Mm-hmm.
So one of those teams, which one looks prettier to you?
With me, I'm still going with I one of my favorite quarterbacks is Joe Burrows. That's my he number 2 now. He was number 1. We got a new dog that came and took his spot from him. But I like Cincinnati. If he could stay healthy, they should win a division. Lamar Jackson, he's showing that his work ethic is terrible. They got to get a new OC and they got to get a new head coach and they got to please him. They gave him everything. He got help. He got a wide receiver. He got 2 tight ends. He got a running back, and they still couldn't get it done. I'm going with Cincinnati. I hate to say it, but I'm going with Cincinnati.
Yeah, I think just by default, like for me, the Browns are very interesting because you have a defense that can take on any offense in the league, depending on who that play caller is. I think Sean McVay may give him issues and Shanahan. And if you can just get a quarterback that play average, and I know we say this, you say this on my Bearded Browns. If you give me an average quarterback, and I think that's what Barry was saying in his press conference, like we just needed average. And we did not even get that from Kevin offensively for the last 2 years. And if you really want to, and this is me being a Kevin fan, if you even want to go back to 2023 before Flacco came, that offense was not running right. So if it wasn't for Flacco, technically he probably would have been gone after last year because they would have saw 2 years in a row where you had bad offenses, which was dead last in the league. And so Joe Flacco gave Kevin an extra year out of those 5 games in that playoff run. So they see, if you give me average, which Joe Flacco during that playoff run was spectacular. But if you give me average, we can win. And I think they see that here. And I think that's ultimately what got Kevin fired. But I'll be interested to see if they get an average quarterback play, whether it's through Shedeur or maybe if Ford comes in and somehow with a new offensive coordinator or offensive guy they have a coach, maybe they find something in Watson. They tap into something that Kevin couldn't relate to, which is another thing. When they say EQ, they mean emotional stability, to where you can be empathetic to that player and somehow you can relate to that player. Kevin didn't have that. You can see here his press conference. He's very monotone. He's very like, he even said him and David Njoku didn't like each other the first year because he was telling David the truth. Sometimes you just gotta, pamper the players a little bit.
Yeah. When you got to do that, but you also with his problem was, once I said before, he's cocky. It's his way. And I always tell everybody, and everybody don't agree with me, but this is my stance. If I spend $250 million guaranteed on a QB and give up 3 first-round picks, head coach, I don't care how you feel and what you feel. What he want to run, you gonna run, because I didn't give up the whole world for him. But Kevin's like, I don't care what you give up. Y'all should have never got him. And that was what their beef was. Kevin wanted to run this style. Deshaun Watson didn't want to wanted to run his style. Deshaun wanted the QB has to run what makes him best. And Kevin didn't know. He said, I want you to run this style. So that's why we got that Deshaun. And that's what I always liked it about Jim Harbaugh. I'm just going to say it. A lot of head coaches do not like the style that some black quarterbacks run. But guess what? I love Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh said, you know what? I'm throwing whatever I know about coaching and all that stuff away. Whatever I got to do to make Lamar Jackson happy and be the best for the team, I'm going to do it. The second year in Baltimore, Jim Harbaugh came out and said, we went and got his college playbook, and we're going to run that. That's what a great head coach supposed to do. Stefanski, you don't say, no, I got this system and you got to learn how to. No, you got, man, I'll be ranting all day on that.
No, I'm saying, and that's actually a good take, because what happens is you make the cup, and this is my argument for Shedeur. Like, you make the quarterback comfortable and to the point where he's getting used to the game speed. And that's when you make things more complicated for him. You give him what he knows. Now he's comfortable. And then you just start, it's kind of like a baby. I got a 9-month-old. So we fed him, my wife fed him breast milk. Now we're feeding him like mashed potatoes. Now we give him corn. Like, as they grow, you give them better food, more nutrients as they grow and as they develop. Some develop faster than others. We can see that in NFL. Baker, Darnold, they didn't develop till right now. They're killing it in the league. So for me, my argument is, Like he should have tempered it down, made it easy for Shedeur or whatever quarterback, Dylan, whatever
Hmm.
quarterback he decided to play in this year. And
Yeah.
he didn't do that. He refused to adapt to that. And I think ultimately, like you've been saying, that's what killed him, his
Yes.
career here. So
And
we'll
and
see
and that's
how he
where
handles that.
go ahead. And
I'm
that's
saying
where
we'll see.
go ahead.
No, that's where we'll see how he handles Atlanta, because if he goes in with either Penix or Cousin, he's got to adapt their game. I don't think he's
Yeah.
going to go, hey, Penix, this is what you have to learn.
Hmm.
Hopefully he learns and says, you know what, I made some mistakes. I need to adjust to the player, not the player adjust to me.
Yeah, and it's some quarterbacks that are system quarterbacks and some quarterbacks that are not system quarterbacks, but you get like Lamar Jackson, where you got to let them do them to be great. Like Brock Purdy, he's a system quarterback. He's good when that Kyle Shanahan. And Bo Nix, he's a system quarterback. Because I saw a pod where these guys, and it was totally correct. They said we can name 16 QBs better than Bo Nix. And Bo Nix is, look where he just took them to the AFC Championship. So if you can name 16 quarterbacks, Kevin Stefanski, that's better than Bo Nix, you could have did something with ours, with a great system and teaching. Because with the one thing that some of the Denver Broncos fans was getting on Sean Payton last year about Bo Nix was they like, unleash Bo Nix, unleashing. And Sean Payton came out and said it. He said, this is my first time ever in my career having a rookie quarterback. So I'm learning as I go. So yes, I'm going to put the training wheels on him. BS, I'm going to feed him a little bit at a time because I don't know how to. And that takes it takes a man to say, I don't know what I'm doing. It's my first time doing that. And yeah. So I mean, but imagine you can name 16 quarterbacks better than Bo Nix, and Bo Nix made it to the AFC Championship, and we had like Deshaun Watson, the top 5 QB, and we couldn't go nowhere.
Couldn't even generate an offense consistent enough 2-3 weeks in a row, because he'll have a good week coming from behind, look inconsistent the next week. Because I mean, who knows at that point? But Kevin, hopefully he'll adjust. Now we'll go into the coaching search aspect of the podcast. I don't know if you know this, but news just dropped that they've named these head coaches to come back for a second interview: Jim Schwartz, Todd Monken, which is an interesting one, Mike McDaniels, Nate Skeelhouse, and Jesse Minter, along with Grant Udinsky. All those are supposedly coming back next week for a second interview. First, who do you hope?
Tell you the truth, this is what Browns fans don't realize, and this might be the first time they're hearing it. This is scary for Jim Schwartz. Imagine if you, Jim Schwartz, you came out 2 years ago or so and said that you wanted to be a head coach. Now you in Cleveland, you the defensive coordinator. Or anybody at a job, when you pitch your hat in the ring that you wants to be the supervisor or to be the head coach, and you get turned down, whew, how long would Jim Schwartz be in Cleveland? Will he do one more year and say, forget y'all, I'm out? Or I don't know, but I would like to see Todd Monken, because there's only one reason why I like to see Todd Monken. Is the same reason that Lamar Jackson didn't like him. They said he was hard. And guess what? We need that Belichick way in Cleveland. These cats is lazy. These cats is undisciplined. Because the one thing that we was talking about, Kevin Stefanski and teaching all this stuff, when you can't have a Belichick way with veterans, they making all these millions. You can't, just like me and my job. I've been here 20 years. You ain't gonna tell me nothing. But guess what? Somebody that's only been there a year, they're coachable. They can listen. So, and we got our whole offense the defense is already set. They already know their tone. But we got a rookie at quarterback, two rookies at running back, a rookie at tight end. We somewhat got some rookies at wide receiver. Everybody's ears and eyes are open. They want to be taught. So Todd Monken coming in, doing what he does, I think that'd be good.
Yeah, Todd Monken. I didn't expect you to say that one. But that's a good argument. That's a good argument.
That's the only reason he wasn't
Yeah.
my first choice. But once I heard that he was hardcore, that's why I wanted him, because we have no lead. I always ask everybody, name a leader on offense, and you can't name one leader on offense. So we need somebody that's going mold some leaders.
I mean, your offensive leaders would have been your offensive linemen, which can only go so far, right? You need a quarterback to be vocal. Jameis Winston was probably the most vocal offensive outside of offensive lineman that was here. Yeah. Todd Monken. From that, I get your point. That's actually a good argument to why to have him. For me, I'm very interested in two guys that probably no one else will be interested in, to be honest with you, only because I read a lot on the next up and coming. I like Nate Scheelhaase, the pass game coordinator for the Rams, and for the main reason, if you're passing for the Rams and they're scoring 40 points a game, I want that guy here. If you're scheming pass plays with Sean McVay, who's probably one of the smartest men, and him and Shanahan in San Francisco, offensive minds in the NFL, I want you here. And he's 35 too, so he's not too young. And he's coached. He went from playing quarterback in Illinois, which is important to do when you're trying to develop a quarterback, get a quarterback head coach who can talk quarterback to a quarterback you're trying to develop. And he went straight from Illinois as a player to a running back coach. And from then on, he progressed into where he's at now, at one of the most prolific NFL offenses in the league. That's why I'm interested in him. Also, too, I like Grant Udinski. Oh, he's 30. He's totally opposite of what everyone else is. He's never called plays. He's been in the league 6 years. But from everything I've been reading, this guy is brilliant and smart. And one thing that I said earlier is this guy was going to bring, also Scheelhaase too, by the way. He is what they call adaptability head coach, meaning he schemes based upon your opponent. So what you're going to do is these two guys, you don't need a number one receiver if you have these two guys, because they're going to scheme basically like Bill Belichick. Now, I don't want to go too extreme, because Belichick was very good at scheming and plotting where the defense is weak at and exposing it.
But you got to give some credit to Josh McDaniel. Josh McDaniel was the OC, and Josh McDaniel handled that. Yeah.
Also, Mike McDaniels is in for the second interview too. He's very interesting for me too. But but those two guys I'm interested in, because I want to go with younger, and mainly the 99% of the reason why I want a young head coach who used to be a former quarterback is because I believe in Shedeur Sanders.
Okay.
I know, regardless of, I'm a stats guy.
Oh yeah.
I know his QBR is dead last. Yeah, I know his QBR is dead last. I know he's probably 40th ranked out of 42 quarterbacks this past year, over 200 pass. I get it. But I see something so well in his game that I think if you get somebody who is smart enough and brilliant enough to communicate his language, to tap into his potential greatness, that be worth it for me. I understand fans want Jim Schwartz because of the defensive side. I get that. I get the skepticism. Like, if you let him go, the defense might fall off. But my issue is, if you bring in Jim Schwartz for another 2 years and you let these two guys go and Jim Schwartz doesn't work out, because the numbers show it, if you elevate a guy, he's gone after 2 years.
Yeah.
He's gone. So after 2-3 years, you're going to pass out on some brilliant offensive minds, and we're going to be like, we're going to do the whole Mike Vrabel thing. He was in the house. Why didn't we get him? Why didn't we get him? So I would rather roll the dice on someone younger, offensive mind. Also, too, both of these guys are not. We're going to get into the next question here, because I'm going to get ahead of
one thing about your picks. I'm gonna ask you a question, and another reason, like when I did on my show, we was talking about who do we want, and like then I found out about Todd Monken and how he was. That's one reason why I wanted him. Then the only one, the main reason that if you're Cleveland Browns, if you're Andrew Berry and you are looking for a head coach, it's one question that you got to ask him. To me, it's only one question. How do you feel about 4? And how do you feel about 12?
100%. 100% right. You're 100% right.
Because if you're not sold into my QBs, You got to go. We already seen what it looks like when the head coach doesn't like the quarterback. And look at Sean Payton. When and I still don't understand, but he's doing good now. But why did you take the Denver Broncos job if you didn't like Russ? If you didn't like Russ as the quarterback, why did you take this job? And I don't want that. And Russ was out of there in 2 years or so. No, you gotta you do you like the quarterback? The quarterback is the engine to this car. Do you like him or
Yeah.
not? If not, then we on to the next one.
Now Barry did say that he saw some improvement, good things with Shedeur, but he can't promise that he's going to be
Yeah.
the guy coming in because the coach is going to have input on that, which I think is a good. You don't want to. I don't think you can sit there and say Shedeur's the guy, basically because I know a lot of people don't like it. They see the stats, they see this QBR, they see his passing percentage, they see the turnover ratio, they see that, and they can't sit there and say he's the guy and then expect to bring in a smart mind to say we're going to handcuff you to him. So I think in the meetings, I'm hoping they say, listen, we believe, kind of like what I said. Listen, we believe in Shedeur. We think he has some potential. What can you do to
Elevate.
increase his game, elevate
Yeah.
him? So I'm hoping that's part of the conversation. That's why
Oh,
I
oh,
want an offensive guy. Like Mike McDaniels is even. I know a lot of people are pooping on him because of
yeah. I know.
what he did
I
in
like him
Miami.
too.
I like his scheme. Like, let's move away from like, well, Tua didn't do well. Let's move away. Like, why didn't he do well? Well, Tua was limited.
Mm-hmm.
Tua is a limited quarterback. He's kind of like a better Dylan Gabriel, right?
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people actually compared the two, believe it or not. So if you bring me, like, I'll be okay with Mike McDaniels. I think he schemes up offensively smarter than Kevin. He came from Kyle Shanahan tree, and he was in the room with Kyle when he was here as a wide receiver coach. And also, too, he was a wide receiver coach. What is our problem here on our offense?
Mm.
Our
Wow.
wide
Yeah.
receiver. We can't
Wide
develop a wide
receivers.
receiver to save our lives. Maybe
Yes.
he can have some input. Hey, this
Yes.
is what you guys need to do in the wide receiver room. He started as a
Yes.
wide receiver coach here in Cleveland, went to San Francisco with Kyle Shanahan as a wide receiver coach, was so good at it, they promoted him to offensive coordinator for a couple of years, and they got the Miami job. So that's what
But
intriguing me about Mike McDaniels.
the other question I was going to ask you in your head coaching search, which I don't know if Kevin Stefanski just rubbed me the wrong way, but when you're looking for a head coach and the names that you named that you said that call great plays, do you want your head coach that you hire call the plays, or do you want the head coach to come here and get an OC and them call the plays?
I think it differs based upon who you get. Mike McDaniels, he's shown success calling plays. Now, I think Nate, if you get Nate or Grant who is younger, I think um I think there's a shift going on in the NFL what that playing calling is overrated. And I'm going to say it from this perspective because a lot of teams are using analytics. So the
Mm.
play calling is going to be set up.
Mm-hmm.
Basically situational play calling, right? If it's 3rd and 1, do this. So I think for me, play calling is overrated because I think the way the NFL is going, they're going to be scheming ahead of time and you're going to have situational play calling. You just have to pick which one to do. It's kind of like Madden, right? You
Yeah,
go,
yeah.
you're 3rd and 14, 3rd and 14, they give you this plethora of plays you pick. So I think Barry's press conference, I encourage any fan to go back and listen to see what they were looking for in a head coach. The reason
Yes.
why I'm so interested in Grant and Nate is because he wants, and we could get into this now, he wants a guy that's like a CEO, someone that
Mm-hmm.
runs everything. So I don't think they're looking just for a play caller. I think they're looking for
Mm-hmm.
somebody to keep everybody accountable, make sure the defense is running smoothly, make sure the special teams, which sucked, it was inconsistent outside of the kicking game, run successfully. So I wouldn't be surprised if they get somebody and they still get an offensive play caller because they're going to know his job is going to oversee everything.
But what's your preference? That's what I'm
My
asking. What's your
preference is
preference?
uh play caller or not. Man, that's a good question. Do I want a play caller?
I just want a head coach. I don't want my
Yeah,
head.
yeah,
That's what I did.
that's what, yeah, I would agree with that. I just want somebody, the head coach, to oversee, make sure everyone's doing their job.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if you give somebody the head coach responsibility, that's just one more thing they have to worry about this week. So yeah,
Yep.
I agree. I'm glad I talked that out with you. Now I know my answer. Like, I don't need, and I think that's what I was kind of hinting at. Like the younger guys, like, I don't think I need that. I've seen that. It didn't work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
But
like
what
unless you're
about
like
them young
Andy
guys
Reid,
that you name want to call hit want to
I
say, hey, I believe I can call plays too.
I can't speak for Nate, but I know Grant's on record saying I don't need to call plays.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, so he's like, and to be honest with you, he's been in two positions in which he ran the offense and didn't call plays. He was in Minnesota. He was like an offensive guy. McDonald ran the plays there, and then Liam loved what he did there and gave him a position of OC because you can't lateral move in the NFL. So they made up a position to make him OC and something else for him to learn in Jacksonville. So what's intriguing to Grant is he's learning two different systems from two different head coaches who are successful. Liam
Mm-hmm.
Cohen comes in the league, turns over to Jacksonville Jaguars, brilliant offensive mind, right? So and he did that without a number one receiver, too, by the way. No one's talking about Jacksonville. We're going to have somebody on our podcast Tuesday from a Jacksonville podcast, and we're going to talk more about Grant. So that's why I know a lot about Grant, because I've been doing a lot more research, because I don't want to be dumb when I talk to this guy.
And on y'all Tuesday, I mean, if y'all get into it, if you get ahead, you can bring up the same conversation. If you get a head coach that is not an OC, what OC would you want to see?
Yeah, that. And we'll go into our next topic. We'll skip the CEO because I think you already said you want a guy that like Monken who's in control. So you want a CEO guy.
Yeah, because and just a touch on it, Andrew Berry is in control of the team, and I don't want nobody coming in there like John Harbaugh thinking that he's above the system. You ain't above Andrew Berry. Your general manager is your boss. If your general manager say this, that's what you gonna do, or you gonna be up out of here. So that's
why when people were pointing out, like, I want John Gruden, I want Harbaugh, I want like these big names, like even Flores. Like people's like, I want Brian Flores. I'm like, that's not gonna happen. Brian Flores has credibility on defense, and he's gonna want a lot more say than somebody like Jim Schwartz, who's begging to get into position head coach again, or even Andy Dirte, who's never had a head coaching position. He's going to be like, sure, I'll fit in the organizational structure in which alignment with you guys. Like a guy like John, you can see he held up that contract because he wanted something. It's not being said. We can assume is more control. And they wouldn't have they would not do that. And I want to get Barry another year or two. Let's see what happens. You sent me a good question. I was like, we got to put that in the notes because it's something that I did not think of, and it's a good topic. If they hire an offensive guy or even a defensive guy, and Schwartz is gone, who would you want to run your defense for your Cleveland Browns?
Me personally. First of all, if you're a Browns fan, I'm just going. My opinions are just my opinions. If we keep Schwartz, I'm happy. If we get rid of Schwartz, I'm happy because one thing. Go ahead.
I'm with you. Go ahead.
Because one thing about Schwartz, yes, we got a great defense, but that cover one, the never blitzing. I am irritated. I am highly irritated with you. Myles Garrett wants you to blitz, and you acting like Kevin Stefanski, and you don't want to blitz. And they keep you ain't came up with no coverage that can stop the middle or deep passes down the middle. Everybody know how to beat you. So if he's gone, I'm sorry. I'm not gonna be mad.
I wanted to say something, but I'm like, I think he's too. I thought you were gonna be a Jim Schwartz and you're gonna come back at me with some karate chops. But I agree with you. I agree with you. I think this is what I was thinking about last night because I was thinking about the notes. I'm like, how can I compare Jim Schwartz and why he's so good? Not to take away what he's done here, but you've had three phases of the game that suck so bad. It's kind of like you would go out, you're a single man, and you see these girls, right? All of them don't look good, but that one that don't look good look better than the other ones that look bad, right?
Yes.
So you're going to go with the one that looks better than the other three, right? I think the defense looks so good because our offense and our special teams is so bad. And it saved us. And you also had, again, not to knock Andrew Berry, Andrew Berry went all in on the defense. So you have way more talent on the defense. You got Myles Garrett, you got Denzel Ward, you got Delpit, you had Malik Collins off free agency. Obviously was the guy that stopped the run. You got Mason Graham, rookie. You got Carson Schlesinger, rookie of the year.
Schlesinger.
Yeah, I mean, you got players everywhere on defense. I'm not saying
Campbell,
that I can come in
pickup.
Yeah, so I'm not saying and Campbell you traded for that. I'm not saying that I can go in and coach this defense because I can't. But I'm saying that if you can find somebody who is capable, I think they can because I think you have the talent to do it. And I think we're overhyping Jim because we're like, Jim did this, Jim did that. Sure. Did you know that they were a totally different team on the road this year on defense? I didn't get to pull up the stats. I didn't have time. I was taking care of my little baby. But if you look at the stats, look at comparison between home and defense. Horrible. Doubled it. The points allowed, it doubles. Easy.
Yep.
Running game, horrible on the road. So we're ignoring Jim Schwartz warts here because we're saying, well, Kevin had leprosy and our other guy had a broken arm. His arm was taken off. Yeah. We're ignoring. There's some marks on Jim Schwartz, and we're over. That's why I say I fear that if we have Jim Schwartz for another 2 years, we're going to just be disappointed.
Yeah, hey, I mean, we and to get a defense too, because I mean, we got great play. You made the same argument that I made for Kevin Stefanski of why I don't give Kevin Stefanski the coach of the credit for his coaches of the year. Look at the team, the same way you're saying about Jim Schwartz. You're like, you're getting all this credit because all the players. That's the same thing I'm saying about Kevin. Y'all can say he won it twice, but look at the players he had. And that's the same thing with Schwartz. And maybe that's why Schwartz might get looked over. They like, look at the talent you got.
Yeah, I think what's going to might save him is the fact that the leaders on defense is advocating for him. Like you have to listen to Myles and you have to listen to Denzel. You just have to. You have to at least consider it because you want those guys to be happy. And those guys are their bonuses is based upon numbers, right?
Yes.
And Jim Schwartz has been very pleasant to them the last couple of years because their numbers have been very well, especially Myles under Jim Schwartz. And I get it. Grant Delpit the same way. He's improved. Also, too, back to your Kevin and Jim Schwartz argument, like Jim Schwartz has developed some people underneath him here to be coach. And we're going to get into I forgot to write his name down. But he just interviewed for the new Philadelphia Eagles defensive coordinator job. He's the cornerback / safety coach here. So if he's developing coaching underneath him, which we talked about Tomlin, that's a good thing. You also have Tolber, who's our defensive line coach, who is going to be looked at, and Shazier, who's our middle linebacking coach, by the way, who did a great job with Carson. So I say all that to say this. If you get rid of Schwartz, you guys have people in the building that operated underneath him, that learned the system. So you can possibly just increase, give somebody a promotion and say, just run things here.
Yep. But another thing about with me, everybody looking at head coaches and what they can bring and all that stuff, but I'm looking at changing the culture in Cleveland, and that's why I said Todd Monken. The culture has to be changed before you can do anything. And before I was for Jim Schwartz of being a head coach, and that the only reason why is because the culture. If you realize what the culture that he changed on defense, and you look at our defense and how everybody's playing together and how everybody's happy, then you go look at the offense, it's night and day.
Yeah.
When Jim Schwartz got hired, I mean, nobody really did it or going to do it. He said, no, y'all got to embrace Cleveland on the off season. Don't go to Florida. Stay here in Cleveland. Do this and all that stuff. Then on the field, what Jim Schwartz say? He said, hey, when somebody do a play, I want everybody celebrating. If one person ain't celebrating, you getting in trouble. He brought the team together. So that's what everybody got, a sack, an interception. He said, I bet not see one of y'all not celebrating. I love that. So now imagine we can bring that to the office, because guess when Watson, Dylan, Shedeur, or anybody, when we go 3 and out, they just walking off the field. Or even when we go to score, it might be the quarterback and the running back or the quarterback and the wide receiver. Nope, they're not. They're nobody. They're not a. They're on offense. They do not play as a team. And it goes all the way back to Amari Cooper. When Amari Cooper left Cleveland and went to, I think it was Buffalo that he went to next. I can't remember. Yeah. And he stated, he said the one thing about winning teams and that he wanted that he was trying to bring to, I think he's trying to bring to Buffalo and all that stuff. Probably he couldn't do it in Cleveland, but he said, when I make a big catch, we all should be celebrating. We all should be celebrating because he said people don't realize the mental game in football. If I do a big catch or anybody do a big catch, let's all celebrate because that's going to mentally kill the defense. He said because when somebody when somebody picked the ball off on me and I'm on the ground and they all celebrating, when I'm looking up, I'm pissed. He said that's a hurtful feeling. That's a hurtful feeling that I'm on the ground and I didn't get my job done and they all celebrate. He said, if that hurt me, imagine if I get a catch on somebody and my whole team sidelines and all that stuff cheering. That cornerback's going to be down. That's going to hurt him. And he can go in a slump after that and never come back. And that's what I like about Jim Schwartz, that if he was the head coach that he can bring, because it's a mental game out there too.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. But I wrote a couple names that I would think can help replace him, and I'm going to go where Andrew Berry was in Philadelphia. Christian Parker, Eagles pass game coordinator, DB coach, Super Bowl winner, the key part of the Eagles championship run on defense. Also, Eagles went from 31st to 1st in the pass game defense in 2025. And Philadelphia has a good defense.
Yeah,
I mean, so you have to tap into that. Also helped develop Mitchell and Deshaun. They're two corners back there and safeties. And he just interviewed for the DC job. So he has some history of interviewing there too. And again, Clinton Hurt, Eagles defensive line, helped develop defensive line coach, helped develop Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis. Those would be the two guys I would look at to replace him. If you're not going to promote within, because I think you can promote within. I think Tarver's been here for a while, and Shazier has been here for a while, to where they learn Jim Schwartz's system, or even add their own sauce to it, and you'll still get benefit there. What do you think should be replaced? Who do you have?
Once again, you got to look into when you're looking at a DC, like the names that you said, you got to look and see what they run, because of what Schwartz, and before Schwartz, what we run man. So we run man, and we already know when we go in the zone, we getting toast. So you can't bring in a defensive coordinator that's going to be zone heavy and try to bring his zone scheme in, because we don't have no zone players. We don't have no zone safeties. Denzel is known for man to man. Campbell coming in, he's going man to man, and that's you got Delpit. He always leading the team in tackles because he's up in the box.
He's up in the box. He's not a high safety.
Yeah. So whoever we brings in, he gotta fit our system.
That's why it makes sense that you promote within. Right?
Yes. Yep.
Because I mean,
I would do that. I would like that if they bought into the system. If he do leave and they bought into his system, now if they want to change some things, then be like, we got to go somewhere else. But I would like somebody that bought into the system, that want to play, but want to put their own little twist in. Because, like I said, we need to learn how to blitz, and it just
I'm going to bring up this comment before we sign off, because I want to address something. He said, Mr. Stiller fan said, hire 49ers OC Clay Kubiak, then trade for Mac Jones. I don't think the organization wants another Kevin here, because Kevin's safe. No, because I really think they want an explosive offense. I don't think they want this too high safety, too high tight ends. I don't think they want to run the offense through tight ends anymore and a running back. I really think they want to be, and not to sit there and say they don't want two good tight ends. I think they want to have options. And when teams plan for us, they planned, well, Kevin worked from the line out, right? Like the way the quarterback has to read is tight ends, than middle of the field than deep. I think they want to get somebody that can go out in and out. They want to be able to have that, not just be in a box, but somebody outside the box to where listen, you don't need to always throw to your tight end. You also have this guy open in this route here.
Yeah.
So that's why I say I'll stay away from Kubiak because I think Kubiak's too similar to Kevin because they come from the same tree.
Mm-hmm.
And if you do that, you might as well just kept Kevin. Now, Kubiak may be a better game caller, situational stuff. Yeah. But give me somebody who has some firepower and that can score me 30, 40 points a game because I'm tired of scoring 13.
Yeah. No, I'm looking at the comments.
Yeah. Mike just
yeah, no,
Mike?
yeah. Go ahead. Yeah, but and trading for Mac Jones, once again, like I said, you got to be the head coach got to be committed to what we got right now. Now, if I give you an upgrade, I give you an upgrade, but you got to be committed to what I put on your plate.
And I do believe you have to trade for Mac Jones. He has one more year. And if you think Kyle Shanahan is going to do you any favors after him being here, writing a letter, please release me because this organization sucks, you have another thing coming. Because Kyle Shanahan, that's why I'm surprised Mike McDaniels. And Mike McDaniels was a part of the letter writing of, hey, can you please release us all? Because this organization was dysfunctional.
Even if they made that trade, would that be a mess in Cleveland?
Yeah, because
three
what are you going to do?
what are you going to do? To me, it's not feasible to get a quarterback. That's why I keep saying you got to be happy with those 2 or 3 with Dylan, because bringing another one, we paying too much for Deshaun. Can't get rid of him. We got Shedeur. If we bench him again, now we're going to have to hear all of the Shedeur haters.
They're going to riot, man.
Yeah,
you can't bench him. You can't make him the third guy again.
We have to find somebody that think that he can do something with the 3 guys in the building. But the only one that can be traded is Shedeur.
Well, yeah, because you can get some more value than Dylan.
Dylan was the 3rd pick, so that's going to hurt you. A 5th pick in a 5th-year contract, that's nothing. And Deshaun, you already know what his contract is. So I'm
okay with moving on from Dylan, whether he's 3rd or I've seen enough of Dylan Gabriel.
So you would take that cap penalty.
I'll take it. And I think a team, if you have a smart coach, unless he can make some out of Dylan, he'll see Dylan like, yeah, you guys made a mistake.
And that's why I wouldn't get rid of Dylan, because was it Dylan or was it Stefanski? So nobody knows that.
Yeah,
everybody.
That's a good point. That's bring everybody back with a new offensive system, and see who wins it out. That's a good point.
Yep.
Yeah. I think they're going to bring in a quarterback, though. I don't think they're going to rely on Watson, Dylan. Dylan and Shedeur. I think because they're going to. I think the coach that they bring in is going to have some say. I think it's more say than what people assume, and that's part of the reason why I also didn't want to get rid of Kevin. My argument was, if you get rid of Kevin, you might have to be getting Jim might be bouncing because they're going to have a whole new regime in here, and Shedeur is going to lose his opportunity, and it might come to fruition.
The owner already said he don't want Jim Schwartz gone. He want to keep him, but and the argument that I always tell everybody, as a Browns fan, which you are a Browns fan, are you patient enough with Shedeur? Right.
I'm not even patient enough for you.
You've been losing. Hey, I don't know how old you are, but you've been patient a long time waiting on the Super Bowl. But my scenario that I give everybody, next year, for the next 2 years, Shedeur might struggle. I'm not counting this year. Next year, I'm gonna say it's rookie year. And then after that, if Shedeur struggles next year, do we have enough patience to let Shedeur struggle? Because that's why I said we got to have a coach and a GM and an owner that's going to buy into this quarterback. Because look at Caleb Williams. Didn't he suck at first? And now look where he's at. I used to, oh man, I forgot the other ones. It's and look at, even Tua had some good years, but look at Tua. Tua stunk. They benched him. They started him, benched him, then started him, and he had like 2 or 3 good years. Yeah. Then you got Caleb Williams. It's another who's in Carolina?
Oh, Bryce Young.
Bryce Young. He stunk it up for 2 years. And now look at him. So
Right
as
coach. Yeah.
so as a Browns fan, do we have the patience? Because we keep recycling in these, but they believe they see something in these quarterbacks. Do we have the patience if we see something in Shedeur to give him 2 years to become great, or anybody?
Yeah, we'll see. Well, as a Browns fan, we're going to see it all unfold. Stay tuned to My Dogs podcast. Again, promote yourself, what days you're on, because you're also involved with the alternative motive, correct?
Yes, Ulterior
Yeah.
Sports Motive podcast. Catch us every Thursday at 8 p.m.
Yep. So tune in there. Tune into. I mean, we have a lot going on. The Bearded Browns on Tuesdays, Saturdays at 10 a.m. and then me, maybe every Sunday. I'm going to, based upon whatever my boss, aka wife, tells me I'm allowed to do at this point. But tune in, give him a follow. Great content, not just podcast wise. Him and his wife go back and forth, especially during Pittsburgh week. You're going to want to tune in because they have challenges for each other. Whoever loses, or it's funny. It's good comic relief, especially if you're the one losing as a Browns fan. You kind of want to laugh at yourself, laugh to prevent yourself from crying. Give TP a follow on all socials, and you won't regret it. Thank you, sir, for tuning in. Appreciate it.
I thank you for having me.
Guest. Well, great. Thanks, man. So with that being said, until next time, like always, go Browns, baby.